Hi, my name's Relevant, and today in the shop we have a green watt light fixture from Canadian Tire. Now, doing a review of something like this is going to be tricky without actually having to install it, and installing it where I plan on installing it isn't going to happen for a little while yet. But nevertheless, we can tear into this thing and see what it's like. Now, I've been waiting for a light fixture of this nature to hit the market for a while now. You're probably wondering, what's so special about this light fixture? It's of the long fluorescent tube style format, which is very useful to me in certain applications. Also, it's hardwired. I know you're thinking, oh, well, there is other hardwired light fixtures. Yeah, but they're round or they're not 5000K. That's the other special thing about this, is it's 5000K, my favorite color temperature. It also has an 80 CRI. Now you're probably wondering, well, what's CRI? That's color rendering index. The higher that number, the more true colors will look underneath the light. You typically can't get a high CRI with warmer forms of light, 3000, 4000K. You have to get into the 5000, 6500K range before you get a high CRI. And then higher than that, the light starts to get more bluish. 5 to 6000K is your sweet spot, and that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. When you work underneath 5000K light, you find it's less straining to your eyes. It's also that light range that's good for vitamin D production, you know? You've heard about certain special artificial lamps that simulate sunlight for vitamin D production. Well, that's the 5000, 6000K range with a high CRI that's going to do that for you. So if you're working inside under artificial light, that's kind of what you're looking for. So finally, there is what appears to be a dual tube style light fixture available that's hardwired and has the conduit punch outs. Actually, that's the feature I was looking for. So I can use standard electrical connectors on this thing. And it's 5000K and it's high CRI. And it's rated for 2200 lumens, so that's pretty good. This thing's gonna kick out a lot of light. And it's pretty small too. It's smaller than your typical fluorescent light fixture. It's about the size of a single bulb light fixture. So yeah, I've been waiting for lights like this to hit the market for a while now. In the 2-foot range, which is very convenient, gets it to some tight spots. Sometimes you don't want one 4-foot, you want two 2-foots spread out. It's also available in the 4-foot. So I remember when I was at the store, this comes off entirely too easy. Like, it could be mounted up there and then, well, I guess it's not that bad. You're gonna notice it's ETL listed. I think if it was UL listed, that wouldn't come off that easy. Typical 120 volt hardwired. It appears to have some form of ballast on it. Well, I'm curious now. There are no specifications on this ballast whatsoever. These screws are non-magnetic, or is this screwdriver non-magnetic? I'm gonna be honest, sometimes when I get a non-magnetic screw, it throws me for a curve. I don't know how to deal with it. Now, it seems like it could be mostly surface mount, except for those 2 little ballast screws. Those guys are sticking out a little bit, messing up the works. I'm gonna go ahead and pop out one of these guys. Oh, those pop out came out real easy. I'm not a fan of these cheap plastic connectors that they're using nowadays, but it'll be ideal for this situation. If it wasn't for the fact that these little tangs here are kind of sticking in the way, making it hard for me to stick a connector through there. Well, that's interesting. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it went in. Just happen to have this perfect 3-conductor lamp wire ready to go. 18 gauge 105C rated insulation. Get her through that connector and it should hold that into place reasonably well. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. These guys are gonna have to get trimmed down, bud. They always come with wire nuts or morays. And it includes some drywall anchors and some screws. I'm not gonna need these. I'm gonna keep that bag closed for now And I used some of these previously acquired morays. Ground. Don't twist wires when you're using morays, by the way. Just put them next to each other and let the moray do the work. The moray is going to twist them for you. Some of you might be confused, morays. I think I'm pronouncing moret wrong, and a lot of the world calls them wire nuts. But in Canada, we call them morets. Same reason why you call tissue Kleenex, because there's a brand name called Moret. And for some reason, from where I'm from, with all the French people around, there's a slight influence. I kind of end up pronouncing it Marais. It just kind of happened. Marais? We got to put the Marais wire nuts on the wires, eh? Oh, look, it's that easy. It should be ready to go now. Ready to go. All right, here goes nothing. It works. Doesn't quite look like 2200 lumens. Sometimes LEDs, they break in a bit. They get slightly brighter over time. Well, I don't know how much of a review this is, and this isn't a flattering angle, but I've turned off the upper lights and I've set this up. As you can see, I'm getting plenty of LV out of it. I wish I could hang it from the ceiling. Okay, I've got my global lights back on and I have it lighting up the background. I feel like the color temperature on it is a touch colder than my other lights. I'm starting to get all starstruck here looking around at all these damn it lights. Yeah, hanging it up on the ceiling, it's filling in that area nicely. If I set up one of these right here over that area, I might want one of these for over there, because there's an area over there that's kind of like there's a dark zone. So okay, let's get this thing turned off. Cool. Oh, so much light everywhere. Yeah, it did look like it got a little bit brighter as it warmed up and was running a little while. I'm actually curious what voltage output is coming out of this transformer here. Let's get out the old multimeter here. Multimeter. Let's get out the multimeter. Let's set the voltage up because we're not sure what to expect. Let's get her turned back on. So for reference, the high voltage AC connections are still covered. That should be low voltage. Oh, look at that. 37.2 volts. A little non-standard, but why not? Do we want to do a current test on it? Yeah, actually I have an app for that too. This device here, it's a Y-on. It's a wireless timer thing. You plug it in and you can control it with your phone. You can set timers and whatnot. It's half good. There's a reason why I haven't bought more of them, but for the most part, it does what I need it to do. Now, one of the funny things about this particular guy is a built-in wattage meter, so it can tell you how much power your device is consuming. I just have to get onto it with the phone, and then once it recognizes, I press the button and oh, look at that. Isn't that novel? So what do we have for usage? 23 watts. Give it time to recover. 23 watts. Power factor's 0.98. Well, it's not usually an issue on stuff like this. So, 23 watts of hydro. It's a lot of light for 23 watts, I'll give it that. One question on my mind is, how do these lens assemblies come off? They look like they're just glued on there. There's screws. There's a bit of warmth here. It tells me that they kind of use the body for heat sinking. And there's screws here. So the LED strips, I believe they're screwed in from this side. But how are these plastic bits fastened on there? The ends are glued. I'm guessing that the LED assembly is wide. These plastic pieces slip onto it and then they glue it in place. So this isn't coming off without getting destructive. And I'm not interested in destroying this thing. The price on it is decent for a light fixture of this type. If you go out and buy a dual tube 2-foot fluorescent light fixture, once you've bought some tubes for it, you're gonna look into about the same price range as this, I think. Even though they do go on sale. And of course, this does go on sale. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it on sale, but Canadian Tire always has sales. So it's bound to go on sale at some point. So yeah, This is the only complaint that I have. That's kind of flimsy. I don't know if that's gonna fly with me. I kind of wanna maybe pop a screw in there to secure that into place. Otherwise, I like this design, and it's about time that I could get something like this, and I'm looking forward to installing it into my project. I think that's about it. This guy wasn't recording, was it?